So I saw this the other day because Heels versus Babyface. He um he got banned off of here for telling her how it is. So this is the apparent Batwoman writer's room who made that god awful. Batwoman is one of the most god awful shows in history, man. I mean, I think it's a close tie between that and Halo, but ooh, I mean, I've tried watching a couple of them, and it is just god awful writing, man. So she says, calling a show that made strides for representation for a queer black woman anything but positive is an attempt to change the narrative, and it's time we stop letting those who don't matter have the stage. Let the black women have the floor. Yeah, well, we did, and look where it got us. The show was garbage. And the other thing too was it wasn't all about letting black women have the floor and all this because the first season was Ruby Rose. She was a white gal. So for her to say that it's just about the black woman having the floor is total bullshit when the first season was Ruby Rose, a white gal. Like I don't understand these people. I'm so glad that this got axed. I really hope that they take the money from this and they go and put it into Stargirl. Stargirl is the best show on CW, man. I can't even believe that show's on CW. It's just that good. So I hope that they cancel this and that other Legends of Tomorrow garbage, which was nothing but the same thing with everyone's gay and all this, and so they asked that. They asked Legends of Tomorrow, this show, and that Naomi show, which was I didn't even see that, but I don't think it could have. I don't know honestly. I didn't see it in fairness, and I don't know if I don't know if Black Lightning got axed or if it's still going. You know, Black Lightning, I did watch a couple of those, and it wasn't a bad show, but the problem with Black Lightning is, uh, so he's a school teacher in there, from what I remember, and him and this guy are like, it's just like Batman. It's the same thing. This guy makes him a suit or something, and he's fighting these people, and then his daughters start trying to help fight crime, and I'm trying to remember what the Wokes thing was on there. If I remember right, it was the same thing with the cops on there that were harassing harassing somebody, or I don't know. I'd have to watch it again. It was something with the cops. They were all harassing black people for no reason and all this, and just the same just the same thing. I don't know if that show is still on or not, or if it got axed either, but I'm glad that they axed this god awful show. Heels versus Babyface got banned off here, and I'll tell you what: if you want to actually see Batwamen, where it's hilarious and funny, watch Heels versus Babyface. His entire review of the whole season. You'll be in tears laughing. I really enjoyed watching him roast those because it was just brutal, man. It was just absolutely brutal. Where he was just, it was the best roast ever, man. I think his roasting of that show weekly got more views than the actual show itself. I bet. But yeah, this crap with these people, man. I'm glad that people are finally catching on. All of this race baiting and using your sexuality to harass people and all this is just, oh man. So here's EBS. Laugh my ass off. You're canceled. Laughing. Nerdrotic. You know what doesn't matter. You're canceled. Show. Reason for continuing to fight for this amazing show, but I also want to fight for it. The rep it gives women of color because they deserve a superhero they can look up to. I don't know anybody that would look up to this. And if you're watching a show solely because the person is gay or straight and that's your entire focus of the show, then you need serious mental fucking help like this poor guy. Because that is not a normal thing to be this obsessed with a person's sexuality. And this representation garbage crap just ruins these shows. Representation does not make a show good. It just doesn't. Especially when you make the entire show the focus of your representation and nothing else. I just I just don't get these people, man. You had the floor and no one listened. We saw the ratings. You chose politics and divisiveness over good storytelling, and in the end, that is the bed you have chosen to sleep in. The blame lies at your feet and no one else. Strides and good writing need to be coherent and respectable. Batwoman lacked both. Some of the lines and filming was horrendous, stereotyped disrespectfully, and agenda filled. Criticism of those points isn't hate, abuse, or harassment. It means the viewers saw flaws. Grow up. Well, he's generally right on here about all of this. You know, yeah, the writing was horrendous, and the storylines, from what I saw, were just it. Yeah, and it was the stereotype thing too. So Batwomen would, on her off times, go to a gay bar, of course, and it was all the stereotypes of gays in there and everything. Okay, Mr. H reviews. I know you loved this show. As a gay woman, this is where Batwoman represents me because I never had a gay female leader superhero to look up to, and now we are used to get views or we are the background and treated poorly, and this is as different as their lesbian relationship was front and center. This is my ugh, these people, man. All about sexuality, not about a good show. Why don't these people go watch gay porn? Like, I don't understand this. Disgusted with the amount of hate tweets this is getting. What is with all the bashing? It's okay not to like a show. You don't need to constantly belittle the showrunner, writers, cast, all the fans that enjoyed watching this series. I love the show, and I'm sorry it's gone. Oh, fuck off. I'm glad this shit is gone. Fuck that show, man. It was just the most god-awful show, man. Just god-awful. I am very curious, who are those who don't matter referring to? What makes them not matter? Representation doesn't matter if the storytelling is bad. Look at Blade. People love Blade not because the lead was black, but because it was a cool story and great film. Yeah, Blade was fucking awesome. That's a very good point. And people in the comments hating, nobody forced you all to watch it. Just because it didn't work for you doesn't mean it couldn't work for others. This show was important to a lot of people. If you didn't like it, again, nobody forced you to watch it. Yeah, nobody forced us to watch it, but those who unfortunately viewed it were, I mean, I guess the 5,000 lesbians that watched that show, you know, I don't know what else to say there. This show needs to continue. Media is never going to be the same due to this amazing. No, it's never going to be the same after that. I think people really learned after watching this crap that, oof, you don't want to be doing this. Out of all the CW trash that's put out, Batwoman by far was the worst. Terrible writing, acting, directing. May God have mercy on your talentless yet super diverse souls. Learn to code. Honestly, most of us watched it because it was part of the Arrowverse, gave it a chance for that reason. And even after the dreadful trailers, after the recast and COVID, you had a super good season 3 and canceled. Well, what can we say? I gave it a chance. Lots of us did. Representation doesn't mean relatability. Your characters are two-dimensional bores because your writers are emotionally stunned activists. Yeah, the when I from what I remember when I'd see it or I'd watch Heels versus Babyfaces reviews, is it seemed like a high school play. Like the people were just it was just god awful acting, man. Let's see here. Everybody knows you don't go full ambulance driver, but you went full ambulance driver. There are all kinds of smoke screens and shields to grasp at in the entertainment industry too, but I ask this. Your tweet is around 20 hours old. Look how many retweets and likes you have. You're not trending. Neither was the series. For blame on the show being axed. Use a mirror. Okay. So I am forced to like it even if it's a poor product just because there is representation. This is a narrative and it's pathetic. Representation is something people want to normalize, not an excuse for bad production. You know, the whole representation thing is just made up bullshit. If you look at movies historically, I mean, you go back, you know, geez, as far as black and white films, they had black people on there, Gone with the Wind. I mean, these people are acting like they're living in the 1800s or something. They just got this Stone Age view of, black people are just now finally being, freed or something. It's not that way. I don't know. Just because my dog shit doesn't smell for once, and I'm definitely thankful for that, I'm cleaning it up, doesn't make it anything other than shit. Can you clarify part of your statement here, please? Who are you referring to when you say those who don't matter? Okay. You hold up your precious representation as if it's a shield that deflects criticism. That's how you lose support. Why the hell is this account active? The show is dead. Wow, queer black woman, if you're patting yourself on the back about a perceived accomplishment, you've already failed at storytelling. You should be writing characters in a story, not ticking boxes on some silly diversity and inclusion list, and that's why you failed. Yeah, bye, Felicia. Had you actually wrote the series properly, Batwomen would still be on TV. You had the floor and you failed. If you had thought about telling a good story where the characters just happened to be LGBT, it wouldn't have been a problem. But no, you wanted to change the narrative about the characters and tried to force the audience to accommodate for it. Yeah, exactly. You can have all the representation you want, but sadly, this doesn't protect you, and that's not what fans look for in a show. They want good action based storytelling and not just a complete drama. Look at Arcane, for example. It is proof of that. So you're basically blaming everyone for you, but not making a terrible show, but pretty much not taking any sort of responsibility since no one liked the show. Not even the people who tried pandering to. I don't want my shows to make strides. I want them to be well written and entertaining. If you are interested in representation, then go do politics. Leave the writings to real writers. Whatever, but the show is goddamn awful, and the storylines and characters are all as dull as dishwater, and that's due to you lot writing it. There's nothing you couldn't ruin, but hey, as long as it's about inclusivity, eh? Say it louder for the people in the back, okay? Religiously defending a show that got poor ratings is actually doing a disservice to black actors and the people working in TV. Now everyone associates representation with ham fisted, preachy, bad writing. You don't care about creating good art, you care about ideology. Ding, ding, ding. I watched a few episodes and it was nonsensical. How you never got. How, I guess he's trying to say how you ever got to season 3 was a miracle. Horrible plot, horrible stunts, horrible set pieces, and the characters. The actors phoned it in at times too. You destroyed Batman lore as well at times just out of spite. This show blew. Who are you referring to when you say those who don't matter? And why do you think you get to decide who doesn't matter? Why do you matter and others don't? Also, people don't call the show positive because it was simply badly written. Your message doesn't matter if it's conveyed terribly. It makes people hate your message. Since your show got canceled, I imagine this is what the floor looks like. A bad show is a bad show. It has nothing to do with representation. 6% of a minority group. Good luck on that one. Identity politics doesn't work in shows and movies. It never has and never will. You're going to fail every time. Trying writing a good show and you won't be canceled. Well, it wouldn't be funny to watch the ratings get even worse when they were before if they brought it back. Little less preaching and a little more plot. People are sick to death of being lectured to, even when they agree with your agenda. It didn't really do all that much since hardly anyone watched the show, even when Ruby Rose was still the lead. Batwoman writers, it's 2022, be better. Also, Batwoman writers, it's time to stop letting those who don't matter have the stage. Cancelled show, by the way, oh my god, lol, or omega lol. It's 2022, be better, writers. Geez, no wonder it failed. I could go on with this forever, man. Look at all this. The narrative that the writing is absolute garbage. The narrative that the writing is absolute garbage. I guess he's trying to say the narrative is. Who doesn't matter? You suck. You are canceled. 1 million vital tokens? Stop letting those who don't matter have the stage. That's why your show was canceled. How about leaving the obvious agenda aside and get good? Identity does not equal character. You would think an entire room of alleged writers would know that. David Zlazov has shown you the door. Don't let it hit you on the way out. Bye, Felicia. Unfortunately, the stories on Batwoman just weren't compelling. The show didn't have much of an audience because it alienated a lot of the comic book audience from the start. You can lift your character up without bashing and tearing down others. This show hated Batman. And it's time we stop letting those who don't matter have the stage. That's a good point. Would help if you could actually know queer is always and will be a slur. Didn't get called it my entire life for entitled Californians to suddenly take it back to make straight folk feel special, and Batwoman had all the charm of childhood cancer. Those who don't matter, okay, going to need you to clarify that. You mean that statement because it sounds like you're saying only black women matter, nobody else. Look at all this gender, race, identity, shitty writing, legitimate and objective criticism. Haters gonna hate, just block them, bestie. You are not worth the stress. Yeah, well, you got to block the entire world. The political jaguar. Every show can be criticized for how bad it is story wise and action wise, regardless of who is being represented in the show. It is ridiculous to think there can be no negativity for any show that has minority. Give me a break. Your job isn't about representation; it's about writing it. Yeah, that's the main thing these idiots don't understand. They're not hiring you for representation. They're hiring you to make a good show. You made a show about lesbian and latex fighting crime. Boring. How is that possible? Yeah, she's blocking people. She blocked heels versus babyface. Could you point out all the black women on your writing team, please? Those two might be, but I don't know. This is the writing staff. Oh God, man! I hope they don't hire any of these people elsewhere. Look at these. Look at this. This lady is like in a bowling alley. Look how unprofessional this is. This guy at least looks. These two look professional. These other ones here, I don't know. They have a woman named Ebony. Does that count? I'm sorry, no one has appreciated your show. Go woke, go broke. Boy, I'm just so glad. Let's see what this is. This is so sad. Oh, give me a break. Shit show, shit writing, pathetic box checking and pandering. If not for the rainbow shield you hid behind, the show would have been canceled at the end of season one. Yeah, they only survived because of that ESG funding bullcrap. If it weren't for ESG funding, the show wouldn't have made it past season one. However, you are hypocritical. Yet you block a black woman for disagreeing with you. You are just trying to portray yourself as progressives to score virtue points. But when push comes to shove, you are farthest from clowns. The truth can make you butthurt. Oh, they blocked Lorena too. Wow. You guys have no self-awareness, do you? Black women are tired of people like you using immutable characteristics as a shield for your cheap show. Why are you blocking black and brown people for disagreeing with you? Your show is crap. Boy. Unreal, man. Well, rest in peace, Batwamen. And I sure hope that they put that money into Stargirl. My God, if they took the money from Legends of Tomorrow and Stargirl, all of that, and put that into Stargirl, man, my God. Stargirl is already an awesome show, and if they boosted it with the money from these two canceled shit piles, I can only imagine how much better it would be.